Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our weekly podcast for the love of wrestling. It is me, Ty, with Connor and Josh. That's where you gotta introduce yourself.
Oh, hi guys. So, as you already know, I'm Josh. I run the For the Love of Wrestling group. I would actually like tonight, before we start the legitimate podcast, to welcome back a former member who left due to personal differences but finally rejoined the family. Ty, welcome back.
Oh, yeah. Connor, you gotta introduce yourself. Connor. Yeah,
I totally accidentally muted myself. So what's up?
I'm trying to do the intro here.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Everybody knows me.
We got that out of the way.
I'm
We got that out of the
co-founder
way.
of the podcast.
So a lot of stuff is happening in wrestling.
Yes.
Before we get into the big thing, I'm just gonna run down. Tomorrow, New Japan Pro Wrestling is holding the Strong Style Evolved show, which will be airing at 8 p.m. on AXS TV. Plus, if you have New Japan World, which you should, because it's way better than WWE Network, because we have real wrestling there. That's my plug. Hopefully, Dave Ultrasign hires me. I mean, I could just ask enough. But yeah, it's gonna be in Los Angeles, because that's where the New Japan Dojo is for America. It's gonna be a good show. We have Roppongi 3K with Rocky Romero taking on SoCal Uncensored, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, Taguchi Japan, which is Juice Robinson and David Finlay, versus Chaos members Hiroki Goto and Gato. Another tag team match of Chaos members Toru Yano and Chuck Taylor against the Killer Elite Squad, Lance Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr., the son of the British Bulldog. We see the Guerrillas of Destiny take on fellow Bullet Club members Cody Rhodes and Marty Scurll. We'll see Taguchi Japan members Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kushida, and Rizuki Taguchi and Dragon Lee versus LIJ members Tetsuya Naito, Sanada, Bushi, and Hiromu Takahashi. A special match, Jushin Thunder Liger to take on Will Ospreay, which was supposed to be Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio got injured at an independent show a couple weeks ago. Jay White defending his IWGP United States Heavyweight title against Hangman Page. And in the main event, for the first time ever, the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi versus the Young Bucks. And that's Strong Style Evolved. You can watch it tomorrow. It airs at 8 p.m. on AXS TV. New Japan World's be better. It's going to be. I mean, it's not a top tier New Japan show. It's basically a lower tier, but having Omega and Ibushi against the Young Bucks is really going to draw in a lot of fans.
And I mean, that match has potential to tear the roof down, knowing New Japan.
Yeah, and I really think Jay White against Hangman Page is going to be really good. I think it's going to be the sleeper match of the whole card.
What really surprises me about this card and about this show is God himself isn't on it.
Who?
Okada.
He is. I forgot about that match. Okada is teaming up with Moro Ishii, and they're going to take on Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr.
Man, who cares about? See, y'all said God, and I'm thinking of the Gorillas of Destruction, and I'm like,
they're competing. Well, they're competing too.
I know, but they're actually worth mentioning.
The two big matches
actually. Sorry, go ahead.
The big thing about the tag team match with Okada and Ishii versus Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. is, if you guys did not watch the New Japan Cup, it is actually on our YouTube channel. We'll be covering it, which you should watch, and I'm pretty sure Ethan will put the link in the description.
Right.
Zack Sabre Jr., he made Tetsuya Naito tap out. He made Kota Ibushi tap out. He made Sanada tap out. He was the first British wrestler to ever win the G1. He will be the first British wrestler to ever challenge the IWGP title in the past 20 years. The last one was 23 years ago which was Steven Regal. So it's a big deal having really New Japan trying to get all the markets covered in this one show. I would say this: Zack Sabre Jr. is probably the best UK wrestler in the game today. And
from what standpoint?
To me, Pete Dunne's really good, but I would choose Zack Sabre Jr. any day of the week over any UK wrestler.
Even Marty and Ospreay?
Yeah, I would. I think Zack Sabre Jr. is that. The thing with him, he's believable. When he wrestles, you believe it. And I just dig the style. He has that traditional European style that reminds me a lot of like Dave Taylor, William Regal in his prime.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy him. I don't think he'll beat Okada at Genesis, but I do think he'll give him a run for his money because honestly, I don't see Okada losing that title to probably the next Wrestle Kingdom.
Because Okada is basically the new. Okay, so I need to tell you something. We haven't talked in a while. We don't need to talk about why.
Yeah.
But you're going to be happy, so happy about this. So
I really hope you've been watching some New Japan.
Since we've talked, I've been watching New Japan.
I told you, you should.
I have my positives, I have my negatives. But overall, like, I like it. It's good. Like, I didn't think I would like it so much, for real.
New Japan is different. That's why I never compare it to WWE because they're two different styles.
Yeah, it's very different.
Different styles.
You can't compare it to anything.
I think what people need to understand if you are a WWE fan and you're watching New Japan the first time, do not expect the same kind of entertainment because that's not what they're about. It's about wrestling.
That's what it is.
WWE is about entertainment. I've always said this: New Japan is a wrestling show. WWE is a TV show that has wrestling on it.
Actually, that's Lucha Underground.
Yeah, but WWE tries to hide it. Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground.
Honestly, that's true. Lucha Underground is so much wrapped up, and this is not a bad thing. It's just different than what we're used to.
Well, Lucha Underground, it had to be. It had to be the way it was because that was the only way it would have gotten accepted and people would have watched. Because Lucha Libre has been trying to get big in the U.S., nationally in the U.S., for probably about 20 years, and it never stuck because that style, no one wants to watch that for a whole show. So they had to add that element, and it pretty well. I have my cons about Lucha Underground that I know I get a lot of heat from online. They say that Lucha Underground is not going to be around in 5 years, and people say the same thing about TNA, but there's a difference. TNA is a wrestling show.
The thing about it is, fellas, right now, what I find to be really interesting, and one of the big kind of things coming up, is that Lucha has partnered with Impact for this.
I've been saying it. They should.
Versus Lucha show.
They should, and I've been saying this. I think smaller companies need to do to work together more. When I say smaller companies, I don't mean like local companies. I mean, like your Ring of Honors, like your TNAs. Lucha is a perfect thing for TNA because TNA has always been, they went through peaks where they were kind of hardcore, then they went through that where they didn't like hardcore. And Lucha Underground to me isn't hardcore; it's just realistic. Like when they compete, I mean the storylines aren't realistic, but in the ring, buy it. You buy it in the ring. You can see that shit.
Except when Matanza wrestles because Jeff Cobb's just that good.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb, he's a beast. He's something else. Also, while we are on the independent wrestling, we do announce last night PWG Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, which has been around for a long time, has always been the same venue. Last night was the first time they left that venue and went to a different venue.
And also, Keith Lee won the PWG Championship that show.
He thrown Chuck Taylor, which made me happy. Keith Lee's a very good performer.
Yes.
A really talented guy. I don't like his attire. I don't think big guys should wear that, but it's his deal. But yeah, that was really good. Keith Lee to see the PWG World Heavyweight title.
I could see Keith later on down the road, because right now I find it to be interesting. I thought, and we all kind of thought in the group that Keith signed on to NXT, but I guess maybe he was right when he said that rumor was not true, and I guess him being in PWG, big for him and kind of the place to be. I do see him joining WWE at some point, and I can possibly see him being a good WWE star. I don't know if I would go main event level, but I could see him in the upper mid, or even as a solid mid card.
Keith Lee to me is a less charismatic version of what Big E is. And that to be less charismatic than Big E, it's not me dissing him. It's just Big E's probably one of the most charismatic people in wrestling. Keith Lee, he doesn't cut a good promo. He doesn't. He works really good. And he can work with big guys. He can work with small guys. He can work on many styles. It's best for him he stays away for now. A couple of years, yeah. But NXT is so loaded right now, especially with the signings of EC3 and Ricochet. He would get lost in the shuffle because people know who EC3 is. People know who Ricochet is. Not many of those people know who Keith Lee is. So he would have gotten lost in the shuffle. He probably would have gotten into a tag team. And I don't think he should be in a tag team. I've always thought he was better in singles. So it's best for him to do the indies for a little bit. I'd like to see him get some dates for maybe Ring of Honor. Even go to Impact. I think he'd be a good fit for Impact. Maybe a feud with Moose or something like that would be a good thing to see.
Even a feud with Lee and Cage.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. I think him with the PWG title was a big deal. Also because it was a new venue for PWG. PWG is known. The running joke of PWG is they never go to a different venue. They finally did. And it kind of felt like a different era kind of thing the whole night. Because I actually watched the whole show. And it was a different feel for PWG. Like, it felt more professional than they have been in recent time.
That in of itself, I know PWG's been around for a very long time.
Yeah, they've been around.
Mad respect for PWG, but them taking on a more professional approach in of itself is a very big thing.
Yeah.
Because if they do go professional, if they play it off as professional, hopefully that means TV deal. Hopefully that means more wrestling on television instead of having to go to these bootleg sites and watch it that way.
Mm-hmm. So PWG, it's been around. I think it came around about a year after Ring of Honor. It and Ring of Honor pretty much started at the same time. For those who don't know much about PWG helped launch some of the biggest talents today when they were younger. Adam Cole was a PWG World Champion. Kevin Steen was a PWG World Champion. El Generico, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. PWG and Ring of Honor at a time were the two of the hottest wrestling companies because they were just young guys doing crazy shit. I sit back and I'd like to see PWG get a TV deal. But the thing is, because they'll be the same boat Ring of Honor's at. Can they keep their talent? That's been the issue of Ring of Honor the past couple of years. Ring of Honor's had to depend on New Japan. But I just don't. But we're going to the next topic. I told Connor he could talk about it first. This past week, it was revealed on Tuesday, about afternoonish. Daniel Bryan, it was posted on WWE.com, and I originally thought it was a joke, that he's been cleared. And on that SmackDown. He even took a good bump from Kevin Owens, so it seems like he's really cleared. So, Connor, you can express how you felt about Daniel Bryan finally making a return.
Man, when I saw the news, I was so happy. I was like, no way. No, like I saw the news, like, came up on my news feed from the app. I was so excited. I was like, that's awesome.
See, I thought it was a joke at first. I really did.
Daniel Bryan's my boy. Like, he's my boy. And then he had to come on SmackDown and be like, you know what? Not only am I back and everyone's excited and happy for that, but I'm going to make all of you cry with the most inspirational speech in the world.
Yeah, always a speech. I'm like, God damn it.
You know, and here's the thing about that speech, too. Sorry to cut you off, Connor. It was the first time in so long, so long, that Daniel actually looked authentically happy.
Yeah.
He did.
And another thing we're going to talk about is I put a theory out there. I think Daniel Bryan had been cleared for weeks, and I'll tell you why. Okay.
Hold on. Say that again.
I think Daniel Bryan was already cleared for weeks. And
probably.
I'll tell you why. I messaged a good friend of ours, Joe, about this. But my theory of why I think he was cleared. Before that night, Daniel Bryan had not been seen on TV since the SmackDown before Fastlane.
Yeah.
Okay. The last week when Shane was attacked, they said Daniel Bryan was going to return this week, and then on Tuesday, which is the same day as SmackDown, they reveal that he's been cleared. I'm like, and for him to take the powerbomb on the apron. To me, I feel if he'd only been cleared for 24 hours, they wouldn't let that happen, that kind of spot.
They would have still been trying to, like, watch him carefully.
And also, to tie to the point, I know that Daniel himself is really, really, really awesome in the ring, but the way he ran
those drop kicks
out of the corners and hit those drop kicks.
I was like, oh, God, he's going to hurt himself. He's going to... But, you know, I think I think he was cleared before Fastlane, and they were just using the 3 weeks to get him in shape. I think that's what it was. I think that's why he was gone for 3 weeks, was to get him in ring shape for him to be able to take spots and see how he does. And I will tell, I really believe this. That was probably the first time that Kevin Owens has gotten really booed. Like, Kevin Owens got really booed. I think it's the first time he's been on the main roster. People booed him. And he's been a heel the whole time. So, and we also got to talk about, since we're on the SmackDown Live, AJ Styles' injury.
I never even got to go about my Daniel Bryan
speech.
Yeah,
go ahead. Go for it. I so forgot.
That speech touched me in too many ways. Not quite like the Altar Boy thing.
Sounds like a bad sexual fantasy, Connor.
I was gonna say, like Ty just totally took that the wrong way. He was like, oh.
Okay, go ahead. You can talk about what that speech did to you while you had to go to the bathroom after.
Okay, so he had to give that inspirational speech and everything. Everybody cry and blubber, because anybody who knows me knows I do want to go into the wrestling business, not as a wrestler, but as a commentator. And I've always been like, I want to, but I'm like super nervous and anxiety and bleh. This Daniel Bryan just had to get on there and be like, if you want something, you got to go for it. Chase your dreams, they'll chase you. And I'm like, holy shit, I feel like he's talking to me. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who felt that way. And we just got emotional. Like, I was almost crying. I did cry.
I definitely shed a tear. It wasn't for.
He hit me in the heart.
For me, my dad and I were debating. I said, Dad, since they cleared him, do you think he's going to get physical tonight? And Dad was like, Nah, he's not going to get physical until Mania. If he even let him. They probably just said it for hype, to hype it up, and they're not going to even let him wrestle name on the card. And I'm like, no, Dad, I'm pretty sure Bryan's going to get physical. And sure enough, here's Bryan taking a powerbomb on the apron. A lot of people, for me, I got emotional and happy for Bryan, even though, of course, it's a nasty bump to take, but hey, he bumped again after 2 years. But at the same time, I'm sure a lot of people cringed because in the back of my head, I worried.
Yeah, me too. I was like, there's gonna be a fucking article tomorrow about how he has to go back in retirement. But he has to be really clear because I just don't think they would let Kevin do that. I mean, you could tell Kevin also protected him a lot when he did it. You can
even see Sammy holding when they did it.
Yeah,
Sammy was actually holding Bryan's back.
Yeah, they were making sure they were trying to protect him as much as possible. The best part about that is it made people really boo Kevin and Sammy, which is very hard because they're so liked. Because wrestling's different than it was in the '90s. They could have done the Kevin and Sammy story like they'd done the past year in the '90s, and they would have been the biggest heels of all time because you would have believed it. But now in real life, Kevin and Sammy have always been best friends. Like it's always been known. And
that they're genuinely nice guys.
Yeah, and then Kevin is Kevin's a good dude. Always pays attention to his fans. He's just such a good heel, and us in the modern day love heels. It's just who we are as a society.
It is.
It's just who we are. We don't like faces. Like
Ciampa, I was so excited with NXT.
If Roman turns heel, he probably becomes the most liked person in the business. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but Ciampa right now, after his attack on Gargano, and I love the NXT crowd because NXT has that feel. There's the heels, but then at the same time that there's the heels, there's of course he's an indie darling and he's over as hell already, but then you have Adam Cole. So I mean, there's still that, but Ciampa and Andrade are real, authentic heels.
I think what made Ciampa a heel, and I'll tell you why. I think what made him such a good heel, why he gets really booed, because people generally love DIY. People really loved them, and they had so many good matches with the Revival. It even took Authors of Pain and made them look good. And Johnny Gargano, to me, as always, he has that underdog look. He is basically a smaller version of Daniel Bryan.
Agree wholeheartedly. I see him getting that over.
Gargano has the best facial expressions I've ever seen. He tells such a good story, and he's so good at fighting under. And I think when Gargano faced Almas at the last takeover, and everybody's like, "Oh, Ciampa's going to return," because it was around the time he was expected to come back. I love how he never came out during the match. That's to me what makes NXT different. Because if that was on the main roster, he would have came out in the match, and that would have been the reason Gargano lost. Because that match, what it did, it made everybody look good. Almas looked good. Gargano looked good. Ciampa got heat at the end.
5-star.
Yeah, it was a great match. I would call it the best match in NXT history, and that's saying a lot because there's been a lot of good ones. I just really think when Almas first won it, a lot of people were like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Don't say oh," because I'm telling you, he's probably one of the best workers in NXT.
Dude, I was actually really happy. Like, I was surprised. I was like, oh shit, Almas got it.
I was happy for him. I really think, I was hoping they wouldn't drop the ball with him. But the problem with the whole, When Daniel Bryan was cleared, I had 2 weeks of thinking about it. It's either going to be a one-time match, or they're going to let him be Daniel Bryan again.
You know, Ty, I see them letting him be Daniel Bryan again, and the reason why is because WWE's been hyping up all these dream matches and like polls of who they want to see Bryan face next.
I tweeted earlier that asked, what kind of schedule would Daniel Bryan be? He won't be full time. He'll have a Shawn Michaels schedule, which means he'll be on TV every week. He'll wrestle and he'll do pay-per-views, but he won't do house shows. That's what Shawn Michaels did when he came back.
Yes.
And that's the reason why is if you're gonna get hurt in a match, you don't want to get hurt in a house show because not many people are going to see it, and you're not going to make as much money. And why make someone, because house shows don't really mean anything anymore. I mean, they never really did. I mean, but why have someone who's just coming back from a big injury like that? The thing is, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about Daniel Bryan. Like, it was about 2.5 years, almost 3 years that he was, he's wrestled. The comparison to Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels was gone for 4 years. And his second run was, many arguably say, his best run of his career. He was way better when he came back before he left.
Oh, yeah.
I really think that's going to be Daniel Bryan. I think he's going to be more of a technician now. I don't think he's going to do a lot of the flying stuff like he used to. I mean, he'll still do it every now and then, but I think he'll go back to what he used to be in the Indies as more of a technician.
And that's what I think he needs to be, though. Yes. I dig it.
Yes, I think the SmackDown main event scene is so great right now. Like, Nakamura, Orton. Styles, Owens, Zayn, Bryan.
Styles excites the fuck out of
me. Even Ziggler. I mean, he could give you a good match.
They kind of already hinted at that when on this week's SmackDown during a quick backstage segment.
Ziggler and who?
Bryan.
Yeah.
They kind of hinted at it in a backstage segment where Ziggler was like, "And I can't wait to beat you."
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty clear.
My guess is maybe during the Superstar Shakeup. It's kind of like what I was saying. I could see after we have Shane versus Bryan. I mean, Shane and Bryan versus KO and Sammy at Mania. I could see.
So is that for sure happening?
Oh, it's happening. It's going to happen.
That's happening.
It's logically that. I mean, they took out Shane. Then they took out Bryan.
It's happening.
I see Shane reinstating them. I see Shane.
That totally makes sense. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I see Shane reinstating them just to have a match with them. Shit like that.
The only thing I actually see happening during this match is I think we are going to get the polar opposite of a lot of people are expecting.
Listening.
And by that, I mean Bryan is going to take the beating.
Yeah.
Bryan is going to get his ass kicked.
Yeah, because they're going to sell you.
He could bump. That way he could prove he could take it because they're impact testing him.
What I see happening is that match.
Is getting the hot tag.
Yeah. Well, what's going to happen, I think both of them will get dominated. I think mid-match, they'll do a spot where you really think Bryan is hurt just for him to come at the end and, like, get the last hot tag. And, get the crowd. Because that match, it's not going to be 5-star. It's going to be that match that gets the crowd hyped. Because you're seeing Daniel Bryan wrestle again.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be that's what it's going to be. And the Superstar Shakeup, there's only one right answer to that Superstar Shakeup. If the one thing does not happen, it's a waste of time. And that's the Miz coming to SmackDown. If you're going to have Bryan return, Miz has to
actual first feud.
Bryan, I'm more mad that they can't fight at WrestleMania. I know Bryan he got cleared too late in the season, and Miz has already have a match with Rollins and Balor. But it has to happen. I think after the shakeup, I think Miz comes to SmackDown, Bryan beats him for the IC title. That's really how it would.
I'd be okay with that.
I'd say let Miz retain at Mania and have him break the record because WWE likes records for some weird reason. I just don't.
Absolutely.
Personally, I feel Bryan and Miz should be a big program. It's just something I think we've all wanted. All wanted.
Yeah.
That should be a program heading into SummerSlam. Because I can see that being a sleeper match at SummerSlam.
Well, see, I see the feud lasting a couple months. I think Miz will get disqualified probably the first time or some shit like that. So I think you're probably looking at a good 3-4 month feud between them two. Because you can't hold it off to Mania because that would.
And the other good thing, Ty, that we're kind of sleeping on, and we really need to acknowledge, is Miz is one of the safest workers in the E.
Yeah, he is. Miz is safe, and he's proven that. I
know a lot of people great for somebody like Bryan who's just getting back into it, because even the GOAT, when Shawn was first getting back into wrestling, he was terrified.
Yeah, he chose Triple H because he knew he'd protect him.
Exactly. He was terrified, and he constantly would ask Hunter, am I doing good? Am I doing good? Are the fans believing me?
Another thing, we haven't said it, before we go to the last topic, we have to. I think next year WrestleMania, there's only one matchup we can have, and that's AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
It has to be. It has to be. I know many people say Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't, and it's not me hating on Nakamura. I'm not. But I'd rather see Bryan against Styles, and the reason why I feel their styles, pardon the pun, match together, and it's just a match I've wanted to see.
I just got that. I'm blonde.
It's just a match.
What do you mean they're fun?
And so, but there's one more thing I think, besides WrestleMania Takeover. Who do you think Braun's partner is going to be? That seems like the big question.
I'm calling it being either Joe or Neville. And my reasoning behind this is because apparently I saw it in our group earlier, they're holding off Braun's reveal until the actual show.
Yeah, I think it's Big Cass.
And if they're doing something like that on like a big stage like Mania, you guys saw the massive pop the Hardys got. Imagine if nobody was expecting a Samoa Joe or Neville return, and they
I think it's either Big Cass or Bobby Lashley. Honestly,
I could see Lashley.
The reason why I say Lashley is Lesnar is probably leaving after Mania, so that feud after Mania is not going to happen. Why not have just Lashley? You can have them lose the titles quick, though. You can have them win it and then lose it in a month.
But the problem about that, Ty, is that Lashley right now is still being shown on Impact.
Yeah, but so that doesn't really. You should realize you still got like a couple of weeks to Mania. So
that's true, but
Lashley's
correlates on the Impact tapings. For example, this week's episode, EC3 got fired. Yeah. So it makes sense for next week's episode for EC3 to debut during that segment with Regal. He got fired.
Yeah, but Lashley's last match is in